Are you tired of the same old weekend routine, looking for something new and exciting?
Then get ready to rev your engines at Throttle and Swing, the ultimate entertainment destination at NOLA Motorsports Park.
That's right, we're talking an 80 configuration go-kart track that'll have you feeling like a pro racer.
But that's not all. We've also got a brand new 18-hole mini golf course and a state-of-the-art arcade.
Delicious craft pizza kitchen and a full bar. Think unique cocktails, gourmet coffee, and the perfect place to refuel after all the fun.
Plus, relax in our outdoor lawn area with the playground, live music stage, a huge television for watch parties, and free Wi-Fi too. It's perfect for work or play.
And if you're planning a party, Throttle and Swing can handle it. Any size gathering, we've got you covered.
So, what are you waiting for? Head over to NOLA Motorsports Park on the West Bank and experience the unparalleled excitement of Throttle and Swing.
Throttle and Swing at NOLA Motorsports Park. Get your adrenaline pumping. Chocolate lovers rejoice. Scandalous Chocolates has arrived in New York with 4 sensational new varieties.
That's right. They aren't just chocolates. They're an experience. Premium edibles crafted with the finest ingredients, blending sweet and savory sophistication.
We're talking 20 milligrams premium chocolate lips, sleekly packaged, perfect for on-the-go indulgence. Nuts, fruits, caramel, it's an affair you can take anywhere.
At just $10, it's an affordable luxury. Fair trade, single origin, gluten-free, and vegan. Find Scandalous Chocolates at quality dispensaries like Travel Agency in Gotham.
Scandalous Chocolates. When you're in New York, awaken your senses and delight your palate.
The affair you could take anywhere. Scandalous. Are you looking for a unique New Orleans experience?
Check out New Orleans artist Frenchie at FrenchieLive.com.
Featuring original artworks, prints, and more. See it all at www.frenchielive.com.
Live event bookings are available. The gallery is open by appointment only.
And for private showings or parties, email info@frenchielive.com.
Experience the art. Experience the artist. Frenchie Gallery. www.frenchielive.com.
Hey, Jay, you hungry? Like really hungry?
Yeah, I'm in the mood for oysters. Hey, let's check out Trenas.
Oysters? I love oysters.
Trenas features a wide variety of local oysters. Char, grilled, baked, and on the half shell, even the famous oyster log.
Oyster log? I heard about that. You get 6 each of their signature baked oysters, plus 6 fried, all on a cypress slab?
42 oysters. We are going to love it. Trenas is located in the Hotel Intercontinental, 444 St. Charles Avenue, right on the parade route.
Sweet. When can we go?
7 days a week for lunch and dinner, plus a mimosa brunch on weekends, and happy hour daily from 3 to 6.
Happy hour? Nah, you're talking my language.
Great drinks, great wine list. An award-winning chef, Matthew Farmer, leads a team serving the best seafood in New Orleans. Trenas.
Trenas. Got it. Let's go.
Welcome, Birdie.
It's a pleasure,
I'm
man.
lighting Apollo Santa.
Let's go ahead and get it started, guys.
Let's go.
Well, here we go. We're back for another episode of the Only Good Vibes News Network. We have got VetJams in the house this afternoon. We're glad to have them here. They brought a really good vibe into the studio. Whistleman's got the Palo Santos and the Sage going.
Yeah, you're right. Welcome, gentlemen, to our new digs.
Guys, one of the things that we do at the beginning of each Only Good Vibes News Network show is we draw a couple of these Zen cards out, just kind of set the mood for what we'll be conversating about, for what will be happening, kind of put us off in a good vibe and get us going. But we got a vibe, y'all. We got a vibe. I can tell by your smile that you're in my tribe. We got a vibe.
So yeah, this is just basically like armor for your, like when you guys go out, you gotta have armor. Like for the day, I always try and tell myself, I arm myself for the day.
Yeah, eye armor.
Yeah, eye armor. And it's just a card. It's gonna have a word on the front, and it has definition on the back. It helps me, and it helps while we're cleansing the air for us to have positive thoughts. I'm going down. So I'm basically just look away, and I put my hand close to the sage, and whichever finger burns, that's the one the card gets picked. right? And then I just read them. The last 2 that we did was most of the time when we do whatever they are, they're kind of, you could use them later on in the rest of the day too, right? So these cards today is renuncification.
And that's one I've never had.
Renuncification.
Yeah, remember we were talking in the last show about stuff we never had.
So we've been to 43 shows before. For folks who don't know, we do this all the time. We get so excited with our guests until we don't really actually explain to them what's going on. We just jump right into it. But what's going on, Jamie and I, we looking at a lot of things in the world are negative, but we have our information that we take in helps our subconscious thought process to create whatever we need to do, good, bad, or whatever it is. So our thinking is there's a lot of negative things that are going on, but what we like to try and focus on, instead of the news reporting on the 20% of people doing bad things in Louisiana, because there's probably less than that, over 50, 60%, we focus on the 80% of people doing good things. And you guys, Chet, for the second time you guys coming here, it's like, to Birdie, welcome. To Birdie only knows us as our spot here. And I'm wearing my Birdie hat. Shout out to Zach and the boys. And
see how stuff lines up,
exactly.
right?
Birdie, you can thank Birdie for that. And VetJams. Those shirts are killer too, man.
Yeah, I like those VetJams shirts.
I got one over here.
Got you one right there.
Yeah, I like your red, white, and blue style as well.
I got you. I'm going to bring you the Waylon Jennings. It's VetJams. Is Waylon Jennings on?
Whoa.
I love it.
It's like
you get a ticker.
That's my guy right there. I love it.
Yeah.
So we just that's our energy, and we thank you guys so much for your time. You're doing so much stuff. We're gonna get into that, but I just want people to know who you are, what we're doing, what they're looking at if they just stumbled on. But we pull these cards. This is renuncification, and it has a little definition in the back, and it says each day accept everything that comes to you as a gift. At night, mentally give it back, all back. In this way, you become free. No one can ever take anything from you, for nothing is yours. And now all that means is those words. Like I look at them in different ways. I look at it like when I say that, it really takes me to another level, because most of the time I never really think about it like that. You know, like, wait a minute. If I get in a feeling about, oh shit, I can't believe it's like that. And then I just, wait a minute, man. Nothing is really mine. Just give it back. And kind of, again, all we're trying to do is keep everybody positive and show them positive things happening in the world. And our harmlessness is in the second card. And it says, all beings fear violence. All beings fear pain. When you see yourself and your brothers and sisters, how can you bring harm to them? So to me, you know, I always tell people, like some of my buddies, like, man, this motherfucker can't believe that they did this. And it's wrong. And the person did them something bad or wrong. But you can't carry it like a 20-pound weight, 30-pound weight all around, because you're just walking around with everybody did all this shit to me.
I love the term hate rots the vessel.
There you go.
The less hate you got, the better, more sound your vessel becomes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hate rots the vessel.
Hate rots the vessel.
Yeah,
So-
that's all he does too.
That's awesome.
It's just, you know.
So we would also, Chet, I'm going to tell you this, man. A lot of things, and I got to be honest, Chet and I have been friends for a very long time.
What, 5th grade?
Yeah, something. I mean, dude,
Oh, wow.
like we are, it's over
I didn't know
35, 40 years or something.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
We're
dude,
learning
long
things
time.
here.
So we've been buddies for a long time, and the dude's always helping people. That's one of our big 6 things that we do. We have big 6 things that people do is like, we always have empathy, humility, and compassion for yourself. Always help people. Always try to be better and leave the world better than you found it. And leaving the world better than you found it is with like air, water, food, and all that stuff. But just a simple, just meeting Birdie today for the first time, and like having a friend and a buddy that I'm gonna have, and we have a good conversation, and now we're friends. And then go away, and I said, man, you ain't gonna believe this guy Birdie I met. You know, you go like, you ain't gonna believe this guy Jamie and Leroy I met. Well, that's leaving the world better than you found it, and it doesn't cost anything. And it's all you're doing is just putting out good vibes. And if everybody did that,
Absolutely.
it would be a better place.
Can I tell you that before we get all into it, that New Orleans has been so good to me. I've been around the world twice. I've lived all kinds of places, all kinds of cities, but no place have I walked on the scene as a musician and just had so many wonderful people take me under their wing, show me what I needed to know, who to talk to, who not to talk to. And everyone has been in this town has just been a blessing to me. That's why I live here. That's why I got back here as soon as I could after the pandemic.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for being a part of the
Because
scene.
your time
down
is the
here.
most important thing you have, Birdie. And you took your time. You can be anywhere you want. You're a guy who already been around the world a bunch, but you took your time here. And thank you, Chet, for getting Birdie where he needs to, because you got him involved. Yeah, he got him
Birdie
involved.
just kicked open the door with his
They
bass
didn't
and
have a
says,
choice.
"Hi, I'm Birdie. I'm your new bass player."
I like that attitude.
Yeah,
did.
we looked at each other. Awesome.
That's the kind of attitude you need in a bass player, you know?
Yeah, and all musicians really like, I'm the guy. Let me just tell you, I'm
totally.
the
Yeah,
guy.
whoever he's out.
I'm not good, but I'm dedicated.
Yeah.
So.
Birdie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey with VetJams, maybe what attracted you to VetJams to begin with, and then sort of what you guys are up to.
You got it. The Cliff Notes is I'm a recon Marine, which is an 0321. We do deep reconnaissance, small direct action missions, stuff like that. And I've been playing music for a long time, and I love the music industry. It's just that it can be really, really brutal and really tough.
Yeah.
And, they'll eat their young. It's been, I've played it with a lot of bands. I hate the name drop, but I have to say that the first gig I had in New Orleans was Chapel Heart, formerly known as Hyperfly. And they gave me my first gig, and I learned
Was
so
Bruce
much.
Tyner in Chapel Heart when you were in it? The pedal steel player and guitar?
Oh, no, he wasn't. I was playing with Mark Stone and Milton Mansfield.
Oh, Mark. We love Mark.
Yeah. And it was great. And it was also, again, brand new on the scene. Here you go. But when I left during the pandemic, out in the rest of the world, I spent this whole time thinking, man, if I could find a band of veterans, we could take over the world. Like, and I'm thinking, in a, regular music category. And so I get back to New Orleans this February, just missed the snow apocalypse. And I actively set out to find veterans to play with at the dog. I have a 14-year-old service dog. He's retired now, but we're at the dog park. I run into a guy from the VFW, and I immediately, which is right across the street from the dog park, and I go, "Hey, man, are there any veteran musicians at the VFW?"
Get the fuck.
And he goes, "Funny you should ask. There's a band called VetJams."
Wow, it's like you manifested it,
No,
Just brought
man,
it out of nowhere.
no.
Totally.
Jason built it 4 years ago, probably right before I left during the pandemic. But him and Chet actually started it years and years ago.
Totally.
But I came to New Orleans with the idea of finding other veterans to
Right, you just
be in a
brought it
band
right
with.
into your life. There it was. All of a sudden, bang.
And then,
just what you were looking for.
Absolutely. When the universe provides.
Yeah.
And so I literally got their information, and he's right. I showed up at rehearsal, and what's up, everybody? My name's Birdie. I'm your new bass player.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
now it's gone from Jason and myself at the VFW every Wednesday night, just opening the doors, music, and we have 9 now. We have the Marine Corps brass band that backs us up. Chesty Puller's brass balls. They're regular Marines. And
Chesty Puller's Big Brass Balls Band.
Yeah. And
Big brass.
they
Balls
come-
are in parentheses.
And all the tips go to those guys because they're young Marines, and their dry cleaning bill is off the charts.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it really is. It's astonishing because
Those dress uniforms don't clean themselves.
Oh no, they do not. Yeah, so these guys come in, and all the tips we gather, we just give it to them. All the young bucks,
warm.
and that keeps them coming back. And now we got retired Marines coming in, horn section, and we prop each other up. We really do. Because when I first started playing, I literally would play harmonica and stare at my feet. And Jason is a big Marine. He's like, "You need to stand up and look me in the eyes when you play it." And I was like, I fear. Like, my hands started to sweat. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And my brother Toby, Toby was playing the keys, and he was really not all that good. And our buddy Scotty's really good. And Jason just looked at Toby and goes, "You're going to play drums." And Toby's like, "I don't play drums." He's like, You do now, Marine.
Wow.
So my brother has this fear of embarrassing himself. So he went home, and now every he gets better.
That's our motto.
And we
every
just
day he's better.
Yep, every day he's better, and we're all better as one.
And I mean that. And when it comes to, I mean, we'll get into the mission of VetJams because I didn't know that they had a mission. I just knew it was a bunch of veterans that played music, and I didn't care what kind of music we were going to play. I didn't care if we were trying to get a label in Nashville. I didn't care. I just knew that there were homies that understood where I was coming from, and I understood where they were coming from, and we could make music together. And then I get on board, and they have an amazing mission. They have a great message. And you know what Chet is saying is something that I think sets us apart from most other bands. We're all veterans.
Yeah.
We're all really comfortable with telling each other when we mess up. But we're also very, very comfortable with telling each other when we do a great job.
Yeah,
and so there's the egos. There's no ego because everyone's there for the gospel. Everyone's there for the gospel of music.
I like the way that you put that because it's a very different bunch of humans, first of all, because you guys are all special humans. I want to say thank you to. I don't want this to go any further without saying thank you for your service. And thank
my
you for
honor.
everything you guys do.
Thank
It was
you.
my honor.
And I just think that it's a beautiful blessing for you guys to be able to interact like this with each other. And Chet's a dear friend of mine. That's what I was saying earlier, but it's a really good thing. But the fact that you guys can be like, you know what? You're not playing keys no more. You're playing drums.
Totally.
Like
That's how it works in the military.
It makes me feel fear.
They're
when
all, they're all Marines, and I'm the Army guy, and they're rough on each other. Marines are rugged on each other.
Oh yeah,
You know?
we don't play, but you know we also kiss each other goodnight because if you don't kiss your homies goodnight, how are they going to know that you love them?
There you go.
But the thing is, man, we're being facetious, but I'm being very. I mean, like I'm feeling angst when I'm hearing you telling each other, like, don't look at your feet, look at me when you're playing. You're like, oh, fuck. Like you say hand sweat. I'm like, dude, I'm not even there, but I feel that. And just imagine.
As somebody who's run bands now for 15 years, I have to say there's got to be some advantages to having a bunch of military guys because you're used to working together as a team. You're used to following orders and you're used to showing up prepared. Like,
look,
those are very important things.
And we show up on time. We play on time. I mean, we got Javier, who's a major in the Marine Corps, Jason, he's like, tapping his watch. I don't care what you're doing, but 7 o'clock, he gets up, grabs his guitar, starts playing. Even if we're not ready.
We got Justin, the trombone player, who was the Marine Corps Reserve NCO of the Year.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow.
All these guys.
Some
You
hard
guys
hitters.
don't just have a bunch of
hard chargers, man.
grunts in there. You got some brass up
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Brass in the brass.
we affectionately call the horn section. We call if you've ever seen a TV show called Shoresy, it's on Hulu. It's great. It's about a hockey team. It's great, but they have these 3 Native American brothers, and they're all named Jim, and so they're the hitters on the team, right? So
Right.
call out the Jims, and as soon as the horns came on, we were like, we're going to call them the Jims. And so that's just what we call them, the Jims.
Nice.
But these guys, man, they go to work every day. They run 3 miles every morning because, say what you want about the band. I was in the infantry, but the band has to look pretty.
Yeah,
So
they gotta
they've
look
got
good.
to they got to run, they got to lift, they got to work out. And they do that all day, and they play their horns all day, and then they get off work and they drive across a bridge into New Orleans every Wednesday to rehearse and then play gigs. So I love
That's
the Jims.
awesome.
Hats off to them.
Seriously.
Yeah, dude.
Service
Seriously.
guys in there doing it for you guys.
So what's the
Absolutely.
website folks can go to? Because I know a lot of people are all
VetJams.org. And it has
VetJams.org.
merchandise, our dates, who's in the band, what's the mission, and Jason set all that up.
And you can
Oh,
donate
nice.
there as well.
Yes, you could drop donations in there. You
Awesome.
can-
And it's
Definitely
gonna have you
include that
scheduled.
in the show notes for this. We'll have a link to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Man, so I'm back to the whole interacting between you guys. I'd have to believe that it's really cool to I try and preach this to people all the time. Like, leave your feelings out of the situation and let's focus on the mission, whatever it is. It's my merchants that I'm doing. I'm a national salesman, so I do business with everyone in the U.S. and 30 different countries. But my job is to go into a fire. So it doesn't always feel like you're on the same team when you're on the fire. And I can imagine in the band sometimes, like, you know, people got their own things they're dealing with or whatever. But for you guys to be able to talk to each other like that in such a way that gets the person to the point, but their feelings aren't in it, is a special place. Because if people, like you say, can not have their feelings wrapped in it, Jamie, because I bet you feel a difference. You can't tell some person in your band, you're not playing this, you're playing that now. They'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're right.
Right?
What?
Like, it ain't happening.
It comes down to being a part of a team. We've all, you know, being in the military, we're a cog in a giant wheel. We're just a cog in a machine, but it takes every piece working together to make the mission happen. And so when you're mission oriented, you leave your ego at the door, you stock up on humility because you're going to need it, and you focus on the mission. And what we have is the mission to promote veteran mental health, which Jason will get mad at me if I don't get onto it, but any veteran, regardless of discharge, you could have been kicked out of the Army like I was before I became a Marine, and you'll still get counseling at the VetCenter for free.
Yep. You just need your DD-214. Those are your walking papers.
And what's where can they go at any
Vet Center?
Any vet center?
VetCenter or the VA. Jason has a grudge against the VA. I'm a VA product. You know, you can go in and say, you know, if you walk into the mental health unit, I've done this before. I've had guys come in that I know that I'm big in the VA, and just get on a knee, go to the secretary, and say, "See that guy in that chair right there? He's had several panic attacks, and he's about to have a nervous breakdown. And can you help?" And look, like, it's eye contact. Give me 5 minutes. And the lady logs off of the computer, goes to the back. 5 minutes later, I'm sitting there with, I'm not going to say any names, my boy. And they're like, "Oh, come with me to the back."
And that's what it's about, right? It's helping each other.
Like, and you could just, and I wait, you know, I always wait there when they come out. And 99% of them just, you could tell they've been crying for an hour and a half. And then they, you know, they get right. They, you know, if they need meds, they'll put them on meds. If they need like family counseling, they'll get the family involved. Money is not an option. You know, they want, because the suicide rate is off the charts, and you know the general public are not aware of that. I mean, for the last 15 years, this is astonishing. There's been 6,000 suicides, documented suicides, and the numbers just keep steady.
How many and how? What?
6,000 a year
In 15 years?
We've lost
in 15 years.
We've lost. I'm polling this percentage. Maybe
I can ring it up on my phone. Stop veteran suicide.
maybe Chet can look it up. We can have Chet do the.
And they
looking
just.
up. But we've lost about 3 times to 4 times as many veterans from suicide as we have to combat.
That's amazing.
The enemy isn't killing us. We're killing us.
I mean, that's why hopefully you guys and what you're doing can still slow that number down a lot
yes,
and get
exactly.
people.
And that's the
What
mission.
do you guys think it is about modern warfare and about the service experience that people are getting that is causing this epidemic?
I mean the way you go down the rabbit hole when you're in the rabbit hole further, and from what I gather psychologically, when my father's generation, the World War II generation, those guys all went into basic training together, and then they went to their advanced training together, and then they fought as a team together, and then they got on a boat, and then they went into theater. It took them a month to get to theater. They go through the theater, they finish their mission with the same group of people, and then they get on the boat, psychologically decompress. You're compressing to go forward, and then you're decompressing to go back. And that PTSD, it wasn't diagnosed, and it wasn't called PTSD. It was called shell shock. It was a different thing, and it really wasn't on the radar. But that psychological buildup during that generation is what held those kind of the numbers down. Now you can literally, I'll be hopping and bopping on the block with Leroy, especially Vietnam veterans.
Yeah.
72 hours back in the jungle in a firefight. Your mind doesn't have the bandwidth to digest that. And then 72 hours later, back on the block. And they're in your mind, you're still in a firefight. And that firefight stays in your head unless you seek professional help. Love from the family, love from, your brothers and sisters in the military. And that's what we're trying to create a safe environment where if you're not into therapy, just come see some music. Come hang out with me and Birdie, have a beer at the bar,
Yep.
And then just gently start letting steam out of the tea kettle. And then it happens, and
That's, I think, talking about things brings some attention to certain things, right?
100%.
And I think that for the longest time, I would think that a lot of veterans and Army guys don't want people to know. But you guys are doing something, in my opinion, because I don't want to generalize it, but in my opinion, you're taking the stress away from it, but you're still acknowledging it, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, you could come and hang out. Like, everybody's having this issue, bro, but we all hanging out, we getting through it. But you could come, you don't have to go. But if you're there, then it's a better chance that they're going to seek help because they're like, man, my boy did it. And he said it was, and I guess like stories, whether it's anything, but if somebody makes you feel comfortable and you feel like you don't want to talk about something and it wasn't half as bad.
Yeah.
Like the guest we had before, we talked to her a while back and she was so terrified of, this is her first thing. She was just like literally shaking, like she didn't want, but she got through it. But once she did it, I told her to take inventory of how she felt when she felt before and what wasn't there and how she felt after. And a lot of times with you guys, I bet you, guys come there and then most of the time like, dude, I didn't think it was going to be nothing like this, it's just relaxed. Like, I'm definitely coming. I bet you have a lot of repeat people coming back.
And first, let me real quick, because we're veteran specific, but mental health is a nationwide crisis. This mental health and suicide issues are not simply a veteran issue. We being veterans just use that as our conduit to, yes, reach other veterans, but reach everyone.
Yeah,
it's
first
not
responders.
Absolutely, first responders, and just a mom of 5 that's just run down and just needs to hear some music.
Bro, let me tell you that.
Come on.
My mom was a single parent.
Yep.
Right. You know what I mean? And I didn't know my dad until I was 13 years old, but I'm 18 years old. But depression is weird, really, really. It's camouflage. I was depressed. I'm the happiest guy probably most people know. I guarantee you.
So was Robin Williams.
And the thing is, like, I didn't even really know at the time. I didn't know. And then I went to see someone and I was like, holy shit. Wow. Like, and it was like, box of tissues and shit. You just got to deal with the things, and it makes you a better person.
That's a really interesting point that you're making about how you didn't even realize that you were depressed. And you guys deal with a lot of veterans and a lot of people who are dealing with some very, huge weights on their shoulders. What are some things that maybe somebody listening to this could see in themselves, like, whoa, I am doing this thing that may mean I'm depressed?
Well, for
what
me,
are some signs?
For me, I did not see, even in recon, I did not see an exorbitant amount of combat by any means. I did go back as a contractor, and that was fun. But, I got back to the States. I think it was like 2007. I was living in Houston. I was starting to go to college, and I just started recognizing that I was hyper vigilant to the point where I would wake up in the middle of the night just to make sure all my doors and windows were locked. Like, wake up in the middle of the night, got to do a perimeter check, little tiny things like that. I mean, I still do tactical things. I don't like to sit with my back to the door. I like to know the exits. That's called vigilance. But it got to the point where I was so stressed out with being hyper alert that I would miss the moments that I was experiencing then. Right? Yeah. I'm so worried about the what ifs that I'm unable to live in the moment. I try to have a conversation with someone, and instead of looking them in the eye, I'm having the conversation looking behind them. Yeah, okay. No, I get that. Yeah. And that's not being in the moment. I started to become way more aggressive, way suddenly. And with me, I was like,
snap of a finger.
I was like, come on, like that's not me. And my experience with the VA was a little different. Real quick, I went in 2007. We'd had right before 4th of July, and I'm not one of those guys that puts a sign, please be courteous with fireworks. I don't like that crap. Sorry if you do. But some kids blew off some black cats out in the parking lot, and I woke up in the middle of the night, drew out my .45, threw my girlfriend on the ground, got over her pulling security, and she's like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Okay, that was sign one."
Yeah.
Okay. And then we went to a fireworks thing at the Big Green in downtown Houston, and everything was great. We had the blanket, we were in our chairs, we had our cooler, and the first fireworks went up, and I realized I was surrounded by 1 million people, and I looked at her and I said, "We got to go now." And we left the blankets, we left the chairs, we left the coolers.
Wow.
And I went into the VA, and they put me in front of a computer, and I did a questionnaire. I got done with the questionnaire, and the nurse came out with a prescription for Celexa. I had not seen a doctor. I had not seen a mental health professional. I went in asking for counseling. I wanted one-on-one psychotherapy. We only offer group. This is 2007, 2008. They're better now. And the New Orleans VA is great. But the first thing they did, based on my answers to the computer, was to start prescribing me
Give you drugs. Huh?
anti-anxieties, each one with side effects. And then, about a year and a half after that, I'm like, okay, I've never been depressed in my life, but I'm feeling really depressed. So I go in. And so now I'm on anti-anxieties and antidepressants. And then, a couple of years after that, I'm going to go in. I'm like, "Doc, I'm having mood swings." Okay, well, take this for that. And I was on so many meds that I was straight A in college. I was an undefeated professional MMA fighter. I held 2 jobs. I was in 3 bands. And within 6 months of starting that last med that they put me on, I dropped out of school. I lost all of my fights. I lost my jobs. My bands kicked me out. It was rough, and it was a long struggle to get back. And the way I got back was by getting counseling. I was very fortunate. I'm going to plug a nonprofit called Project Headstrong. Project Headstrong, they're only in certain states. I was in Colorado, and I remember they set me up with a therapist, and I walk into her office, and when a veteran, or especially a combat vet, even though I'm not much of one by any stretch, and you go in, when dealing with a civilian, you're like, okay, am I going to tell them something that's going to really freak them out? And I sit down, and they had hooked me up with a therapist that used to work in the serial killer division of the Supermax in Colorado.
Wow.
And when she told me that, I was like, oh, I guess I'm all right.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You're not going to tell them anything.
We're going to be just fine.
That's another. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, dude,
but it's a really valid point and a solid bit of advice. Pro tip is, when veterans first go into therapy, they're very hesitant because they don't want to tell their story. If you're not comfortable with one, go get another one. Just request another one. And I went through several of them until I was comfortable enough with a person that we vibed, as the kids say. I could just, you could tell some of the therapists are just checking boxes, to the next, to get to lunchtime, to get to tea, but I found the person in my life I could just really look forward to going back to. And tell them that I'm having success. Tell them that I'm falling backwards, and years and years and years of that. It just, you blossom as a person, and they blossom, in their professionalism.
As far as, I don't want to cut you off.
No.
As far as a therapist goes, because we all talking about how we handle depression different. My therapist was the same exact way. The first chick I went to, she just fucking let me diagnose myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I could easily
You're in your
do
own
that,
mind.
right? And she's like, yeah. And then I was like, it was more expensive. Then I told my wife, I was like, I don't think that this is going to work. So with this lady who I ended up talking to, Liz, is the greatest lady. She does everything through neurologically why it happens to you. And that was fucking I was a cat to yawn, dude. it was on. And this lady has changed my life. Like, she helped me become the person that I am today.
Yep.
Without a shadow of a doubt,
Yep.
this is the first person on this earth that I ever told all the truth of everything to in my entire life. And
Absolutely.
And then if I would have stayed with that first lady, I probably would have had a whole different thing. So I'm saying that to let people who are listening know, just because that first person may not be the person, you just got to keep on going until you find someone.
And unfortunately, being veterans, we're really used to following orders and just doing what we're told. We're not used to, and this is the phrase I use. You have to advocate for yourself.
Yes.
You have to be your own advocate. We have a saying in recon: no one's coming to save you. You're on your own. You have
use
to
that. We use that.
No one's coming to save you. And you have to advocate for yourself. And that was the hardest thing for me. I was a good boy. You give me the pills, I'll take your pills. You tell me what to do, I'll do it. And none of it worked until I did the same thing. I had a couple of docs, sat down with the doc. Hey, doc, I've already been on this meds. Here's my list of meds. I don't want any more meds. I want either psychotherapy or something else. And the first thing they do is, okay, well, you haven't tried this med. Okay, new doc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once I realized that I could say, okay, new doc.
Yeah.
I'll go through every doc in the system before I find the one that I want.
Yeah.
But it'd be
Sweet
worth
spot.
it. What
It's
you
absolutely
find.
worth it.
Like what you said, and this is one of the things that my lady told me that really blew my mind. Like, I had a whole two therapists, right? So, but what she told me really, the second lady, what she told me really, she wasn't like, just because I said, yeah, okay. She wanted me to, she asked me, do I feel comfortable with her? Because it's important for her to know that I'm okay with her. Like, that blew my mind.
Absolutely.
That really, it was like,
Absolutely. Once that my therapist was like, hey, I worked in the Supermax with serial killers. I was, all right, yeah, well, didn't you definitely dealt with worse than anything I got. So I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah.
and
But
now
that's
all of a sudden
important.
you almost start to feel better just knowing
100%.
like that, right?
Hey, I'm not a serial killer. Not a serial killer.
But that's good stuff, man.
Another thing is I try to, when I'm on stage, is go find a social network of veterans. Go to a VFW. A lot of veterans are like, oh, I don't want to get in that. That's all politics. There's gonna be drama
Everywhere.
Human beings are just drawn to drama. And if you don't like the VFW, go to the American Legion.
just
You don't
come
like
to
the
our
American
show.
Legion? Go just seek the brotherhood of veterans wherever they are. Go seek them out, because you're gonna find. Birdie found us.
Or just come to our show.
The horn section found us, and
What do you see for VetJams? Like, where are you guys headed with VetJams?
The master plan is this: VetJams. We're not a band. We're a community, and everybody's welcome. If you want to get up on stage and tell a joke, play the ukulele, just come on up. It's no big deal. Practice every Wednesday at the VFW. We wanted the pie in the sky is to have VetJams Chicago.
Yes.
VetJams New York, VetJams
VetJams
Albuquerque,
Dallas,
and it
Yeah.
started
VetJams
in
Houston.
New Orleans. And look, we can all get together in one, VetJams.
You're going to have a VetJams convention once a year.
convention.
Hey, yeah, man. With
Totally.
a festival.
Festival, music
VetJams
festival.
festival.
Exactly.
Only in states where it's legal to have marijuana.
Yeah.
Okay.
All you other guys get with the program.
But yeah, that's the vision. And we're just you got to start small, and we're just going to keep pecking until.
And imagine what that's going to look like when it happens. Imagine a VetJams Chicago and a VetJams LA and a VetJams Houston all getting together for a VetJams group and hearing the different sound of the music, because I guarantee VetJams New Orleans is different than any other. We've got
totally.
we play country, blues, and jazz. And the country we have steel player, but we have horns with it too. Because the saying, if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. If you're going to play in New Orleans, you got to have horns.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. I just live by it. And it creates this entire dynamic. And I'm in my opinion, I call it being out in the wilderness. I was out there for years just like, man, I got no veteran friends other than my homies that we call and see each other every once in a while.
Sure.
But I didn't have a crew. I didn't have a gang.
Yeah.
And and that's what I always say. I wasn't looking for a band. I was looking for a gang.
Nice.
And just coming out of the wilderness and being surrounded with such love is more healing than just about anything that could have happened in my life.
Now that I hear you explain it like that, you guys really remind me a little bit of the motorcycle clubs that grew out of World War II from the 1950s.
Camaraderie, that's how it started.
One of the things that my
been in one of those.
therapist once said was that the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yes.
And I really feel like that's what you are really offering to people with your program is connection.
Absolutely.
that
Camaraderie
that
family.
connection with other human beings is really what maybe is causing that disconnection. Rather, is really what is causing like the suicide epidemic.
Absolutely.
Just
It's the
being
lack of connection.
disconnected from other people.
That's why I used.
Yeah.
100%.
When the mind is left alone to itself,
It eats itself.
It will destroy itself. But if you have an outlet for the mind to express itself to, music, art, culture, food, you can just, but if you isolate, like they always say in the military, you're not allowed to drink by yourself.
You're just not allowed.
No, you're not allowed to.
Look, George Thorogood can get away with it. He can drink alone.
He prefers to be by
He
himself.
prefers to be by himself. I
But,
get
like,
it.
yeah, you can't
But
drink
the
in the
rest
barracks
of
by
us, we should have drinking buddies.
Dude, this is so good. This is so good. We really can tell when we're having a good show when we feel like we're not talking and we're doing a lot of listening, and that's exactly what's been happening here, man. It couldn't be even. It just makes my heart happy to see you guys doing something. And I always like my family always say we take what perceived to be lemons, we turn it into lemonade.
Absolutely.
We make a stand, we turn a profit, then we get a franchise, and then we send. That's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You guys are
the mission.
taking folks who are really having a rough time, bringing them in, working them up, getting them together, and getting them help that they need, making them stronger, and then having more people on your team to go out and help more people.
Yep.
Absolutely. Listen, we're all musicians. We love money. Okay. We love money.
So that
And money isn't the point, right? We'll take the money we can get along the way.
Absolutely.
But like we played the Marine Corps birthday November 10th. It was just this last Monday. Yeah.
Yes.
Luke Restaurant down in the CBD.
Nice.
Every
Great spot.
yeah, they
Pass,
throw
Johnny Boy Passion. Those
Open.
guys.
they throw a beautiful block party.
Amazing.
And I did the same thing with Luke that I did with VetJams. I basically emailed them and I said, hey, we're a veteran band and we're going to play the Marine Corps birthday this year. And the lady responded with, okay. And that was it. We're in.
That's smart. I like that. That's very smart. That. So there's a quote. The quote goes, life does not reward, it doesn't reward you from education or knowledge. Life rewards you from action.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And I mean, you could overthink that a million times, but your action got you the gig.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was wonderful, man. It was packed. There were so many people. Everyone was just having a huge time. One of my instructors back in recon school, this is 2002, is a man named Jimmy Stair. Now, Jimmy Stair is a recon legend. He's a musician, put out several albums. And we've kept in touch over the years. He lives in Maryland. When I told him about this band, when I told him about VetJams, and I said, hey, we're going to, I was just telling him, I was like, hey, we're going to play the birthday party. And, if you ever make it down here, let us know. And he goes, cool, I'll be there.
Nice.
I was like, what? And he bought his own ticket, got his own hotel, showed up.
And Jimmy said he's never seen anything like it before. He was astonished that we had, two guys in a VFW. There's 9-piece band, and he's a professional musician.
Yeah.
He was in tears at
Yeah.
the end of the
Dude.
show. He was in tears.
That's awesome.
You guys
And
are just amazing.
and at
stuff.
rehearsal,
All over the fence,
we get to rehearsal, we go over his songs with the whole band, and as the band's like, it was great because the guitar player shows shows up, keys, drummers, everybody's there. And he's like, okay, is everybody here? I'm like, no, dude, we're waiting on Pedal Steel and the horns. He's like, okay. Pedal Steel shows up.
Yeah.
And then these young Marines, they're in their mid-20s. They're all jacked, playing sax, Brit, the sexiest man in the band.
I hope you introduce him like that when you're
The
playing.
sexiest man in the band. Come on. He plays saxophone. And when he plays, when he gets into it, he does the, right? He's got the shoulders going.
Cam's got his arms are this big.
Yeah.
He has a big saxophone, and I hate it when Jason puts me next to him because you ever seen Harlem Nights?
Right.
They come out with the machine guns like, and then I got my little harmonica. I'm like, pow, skitty beady boo boo. It's like everybody's just looking at me like, no, don't go behind Cam.
We run through Jimmy's songs, and then everybody else is going to run through theirs because the next morning is the big show, and Jimmy and I are sitting next to each other watching everybody else play because we have several bass players and several other musicians that come in, and in the middle of like the second song that these guys were working on, I look over at Jimmy and I'm going to say something to him, and as I look over, he's just sitting there like this.
Dude, he's like rocking in his chair.
He had his eyes closed.
He's just like
Vibing.
He's just so
Hard
vibing.
vibing.
I was going to talk to him. I was like,
floating.
I'm not disturbing that man.
exactly.
And yeah, it was magical. It was a wonderful experience.
Music's healing and saving lives right before our.
And
right in
that's
front
how
of us,
I
like-
know we're on the right path.
Amen. I feel that. Guys. Well, look, man,
I
you
know
guys,
you're
I'll
on the
be
right
honest
path.
with you guys. Like, this is church.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's the gospel.
It is. And you guys are preaching the word out there to people. And you give the ultimate thing. People, time is important, but that's the important thing. But your ultimate thing is your lives. You put yourselves on the line. Your family's on the back burner. Everybody on the back burner for this country. And look, man, I'm going to be the first person to tell you thank you every time I see you.
It was our
I
honor.
love you guys.
Now, I
And
know
look,
you guys do a lot of things for the community. Do you
Yes,
have anything
absolutely.
coming up on the community front?
Yes, the Toys for Tots run. And,
Oh, cool.
And Chesty,
Nice.
the brass band. Is this a good time to talk about?
yeah,
That's his time,
absolutely.
yeah.
Perfect.
And it's a big car show, motorcycle show, and it's run by Gennaro's in Metairie.
Oh, nice.
And the Mama's Place Bar, and it's Toys for Tots. You bring a toy.
How can you go wrong with Toys for Tots?
Right, and we're gonna play. The Tanglers are playing.
Nice.
And so it's gonna be a good time.
And I don't mean to oversell it, but if you haven't seen us live, you're in for a treat.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm not talking about myself. I'm literally talking about everyone else in the band except me. They are all masters. Our Scotty, our keyboard player, Steve, our lead player, they're both civilians that have been in the business forever. These are legit pros
Nice.
that have rubbed elbows with some of the best musicians that New Orleans has to offer, and they take time out of their day. How many high class pro musicians in New Orleans do you know actually show up at rehearsal?
I know a couple.
There's a couple.
Maybe a few.
No, but these guys are great, and they're civilians, but they're one of the crew, and that's what we mean by community. It's not just for veterans.
That's what I was going to get at next.
It's for civilians, too.
Because I've seen the drummer. She's not a.
Oh, Becca.
Yeah.
Oh,
Becca.
she's
Good too.
she's a
I've seen you guys, so
superstar.
I need to get out more often to see it, especially, any chance I get. I like how you guys play at different places.
Yeah,
and that's
that,
really
that was
different
another
days.
mission statement.
You guys have a monthly somewhere, right?
So
Yeah, we have Jason, the genius of Jason. He, we were playing in the VFW, and he was like, every Wednesday night, he's like, "Look, we're not getting the message out. We're not. We need to go out into the community. We need to have a gig in Uptown. We need to have a gig in Mid City. We need to have a gig in Araby." And we did. We landed. The last Thursday, Whiskey Bayou. The first Monday at Le Bon Ton. The second Tuesday at Bank Street.
right.
The Blues Review, and
Yeah.
and then in between that, if someone has a fundraiser or just we'll play, we play for free. We play
Not all
for
the
free.
time.
We prefer money.
We prefer
Don't
money.
we prefer.
We prefer money, but
But Toys for
But if
Tots
it's-
and the Marine Corps
if
birthday
it's for
or,
a good
sick
cause, a
kids.
fundraiser.
Yeah, happy
we're gonna,
birthday,
Jay,
yeah.
We're gonna play Dave Jordan's fundraiser.
Yep.
Oh,
You know,
good.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. He's a big supporter, and from jump.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, well, Dave may even come and play with you guys. You
Come
never
on.
know. that
Oh,
guy,
totally.
Don't
Yeah.
threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, I love you guys, man, and I'm gonna tell you this from my heart. Like, this is not for my listeners. I want them to know this is not just literally for veterans. It is for just the community, and
Yeah.
at this show, the last one, it wasn't as crystal clear because it was new, it was overwhelming. But now seeing you in all the places and all the things that you guys are doing, it really is the community. You know what I mean? And the community, you guys are bringing the community together again. Not only standing up for the community, but now you're bringing the community together and helping your brothers. I mean, like, donate to these guys, do whatever you need to do to help them. Anyway, so anyway, anybody can help besides, like, you could just show up with an instrument. And maybe, or you could just,
if you want to come in and if you want to show up at a gig, we had a horn player, Navy guy. He just showed up with a trombone. We were like, let's do it. He got up on stage, and at the same gig,
trumpet player.
a Marine came in with a trumpet, and he was like, and we were like, come here,
All right, come on.
come on, bro.
Come and get it, right?
so veterans, you hear this.
Come and get it.
You pointed out earlier that isolation, and part of the community is a lot of veterans. Part of the problem that we have is we don't feel like a part of the community. We have trouble relating to civilians, and civilians have trouble relating to us, and that's why we're a community. It's why we have civilians in the band, is because. I mean, sure, we did the military thing, but we all live here together.
But again, at the end of the day, you were the same person before you went through the training.
Yeah.
And we're the same people. You know what I mean?
Just a little fatter.
Yeah, you get smarter, for us and all. But yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, you're always welcome here. There's always an open door.
Thank you so much for coming on.
This has been helpful. Thank you, guys. Anything you want to tell anybody?
The idea of camaraderie really is special.
VetJams.org.
VetJams.org. Javier, Becca, thank you.
Oh, man.
Chesty
Who did we
Pullers.
not mention? Everyone on Chesty Pullers Big Brass Balls
tearing
Band.
down, learning how to
Toby's
play drums in a month.
absolute stud.
What? Yeah.
Javi's okay. He's the only officer I've ever even considered liking. Yeah, we appreciate you, man.
Shout out to 8973 VFW for giving us a safe area every Wednesday to play.
Excellent.
We try our best to clean up after ourselves, but it's a room full of Marines.
Hey, man,
so.
thank you for being on the show.
We appreciate you having us.
I
This has
love
been
your
lovely.
mission. I love you guys, and I love
Appreciate
your
that.
music. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you having us.
And we want to also let everybody know that this show wouldn't be available to you if it wasn't for NOLA Motorsports,
That's right.
Trenas, and
Scandalous Chocolates.
Scandalous Chocolate, and Frenchie Live, Frenchie Galleries. You guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time, and get out and see these guys. They're playing all over, and they're changing the world. Number 6, they're making the world better, leaving it better than they found it, without a doubt.
And remember, the world is full of good people.
If you don't see one,
Be one.
There it is. Is that a wrap?
and a wrap. That's it.
But we got a vibe, y'all. We got a vibe. I can tell by your smile that you're in my tribe. We got a vibe.